Hey everybody, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in to Vet Built today. Today is just going to be an update video, all right? I've been trying to edit a proper video where we sit there and it's like, cool little time lapses and stuff like that. But for some reason, I'm having a hard time with my data corrupting on this beautiful device. So today's video is just going to be a walkthrough, front to back, top to bottom, inside and out, real quick on updates since the last video, which should have been, let me double check, which was the tailgate party video, all right? So let's carry on from there and all that fun stuff, all right? So as you can see, we got everything blown apart. Got the cab over there, we got the box over here. Fenders are off the box completely. Tailgate is still hanging out here. Everything is as you have seen it. One thing that I noticed there the other day, and I don't know why, but this sheet metal here is bowed out, and it wasn't like that before I welded everything in. So I'm thinking maybe when I heated up here when I was welding everything in, it kind of bent it down. So I don't know. That's a situation I need to tackle later on, and I'll just do that once I'm back on the box, which isn't going to be for a little while, or it might be tomorrow. Who knows? So there's that there. I have come up with a few ideas. To really make this box stand out, which should be fairly simple. Now that I say that, it's going to be a pain in the ass, but we'll see. Because I want this to have some sort of custom touch to it. Moving on to the cab. We got it up here, and it is what it is. Nothing really fancy. Today I was sitting here just tinker-farting around, pulling out all the gauges and stuff like that, and then going from there. One thing I want to source out is a new start button. So I'm already going to have to buy a new key for this thing. I want to get a new start button because I don't want to trust a $60,000, $70,000 build, whatever we're at now, to a 60 or almost 70-year-old piece of electronics. So that's going to get replaced, all that other good stuff. But I was able to get, here, hold on a second. Let me grab my headlamp. So I was able to get everything taken out minus the linkage for the cool louver that's going to be there. I need to take it out and just grease everything up, make sure it's good to go. The wiper motor needs to be replaced just because it's being held in by a cotter pin. And yeah, I don't trust it. On the upside, as you can see, is there a way I can, there we go. On the upside, as you can see, we got these brackets here that were, actually this is how the original gauges were being held in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can reuse these and get that holly screen in between here, because if I can do that, that's going to be lovely. If not, they're brazed in, so maybe I can heat it up enough to pull the brazing, get the brazing to melt and then pull it off, but we'll see. I might tackle the glove box while it's in here, but I want to have a relatively shallow glove box, maybe 6-8 inches at the most, and then if I can put the heater core in behind there, just like most Fords. This way, if something happens, I just undo a couple bolts, it drops out, and away we go. Other than that, that's it for the cab. I did have a bar running from here to here, and I was just picking up on these two bolts here. I'm going to redo the plate, and I'm going to pick up on all 3 bolts, and then this way it's super strong. And then on top of that, they're the same 3 bolts that hold the linkage for the hood. So there's all that there. Let's move over to parts. So, or actually no, let's carry on with the chassis and then we'll move over. So as you can see, that Dana 60 is underneath and waiting to be put into its forever home. The truss I had to cut down substantially so it would clear the oil pan and all that fun jazz. I'm thinking about redoing the motor mounts as well and then doing a slight notch in the frame, but we'll see. I want to wait for a little bit and see how that all works out. Other than that, everything's there. This was the crossbar that was in the cab there that I was mentioning. I'm going to knock these brackets off. I'll use them again for something, but I really, really want to get this thing going. So while I wait the 2.5 weeks for material to show up, I'm going to scavenge this tube here, and I'm just going to have it so, let's get a straight down view. I'm going to have it so it comes up from here over like this, and then this way my T-case and transmission and all that, it has its own, it has more than enough room. And then once that's done, what I'll do is I'll take these bars here, and as you can see, I put a little pad right there. It's going to go from there up and over, and then kind of lock everything in. And then this way, if and when I want to put like a belly on this thing, all I have to do is weld on some tabs and go from there. And to be honest, I might just do that anyway. Put the tabs on the whole 9 yards. This way, when it's time to do it, all I have to do is just drill a few holes. So we got that there. And then finally, I was chatting with Chris over at Northwest Fab because I have a Eco box that I want to put on the front of the MP205 that I'm going to be running on this thing. And my understanding was I had to use between an 87 to like a 91 MP241. And I've been looking and looking and looking and looking and looking, and I couldn't find jack. So I sat there, called him up, and I'm like, hey, this is the deal. And he's like, well, you're an idiot. He didn't say that, but once I realized that it was a miscommunication on my part, things have gotten a little bit easier. So essentially all I need, and we'll head over to the computer real quick so I can ramble this off properly to you guys, is a, man, I closed the window. Anyway, I need a MP241, which is with a 32 spline shaft, so it can just bolt up to the 4L80E and then go from there. So that MP241 is behind some manual or some 3/4 ton trucks that have a manual transmission in them. So that's the NV series of transmissions. Or obviously an automatic with a 4L80E would work. And then some Suburbans, Blazers back in like the late 80s, early 90s and all that good stuff. Anyway, the point is I found I found one at my local wrecker here. It's like a 95 K2500 with the standard with that T-case. So I'm gonna head in there tomorrow and hopefully I can rip it out of the truck, drag it home, and then go from there, because all I really need is that gear reduction section in the front of the damn T-case. Anyway, that is an update here. Other than that, guys, I have been working behind the scenes trying to get things set up so it's more professional. I got a buddy who's working on a logo for me. I'm going to be switching over the Instagram from CRD to Vet Built. I've been working on sponsorship packages. So if you know anybody or if you are somebody that'd be interested in helping out the channel, we got that there. I'm not going to do Patreon yet, probably down the road, but right now, I mean, we got 4 subscribers in the last month. I mean, I think that's not bad. 1 a week for a brand new channel, it's not too bad, but I want to keep that going, and eventually I'd like to get it to something where it's like a lot more professional and all that other good stuff. Anyway, other than that, guys, that's all I could think about. I want your input, guys, so please comment down below whether you like this content, whether with specific builds, specific part information, stuff like that, and then I can just sit here and just turn around and help you guys out. Anyway, I'm going to get going. I'll talk to you guys later. Cheers. Stay focused.